Today, we're going on a bit of a journey. We're going to trace a path through some really profound ideas, a path that takes us from a feeling of total chaos to, hopefully, a place of order and strength. And it all starts in a place I think many of us know all too well, that feeling of being completely and utterly lost. And this is where we begin. Just picture that for a second. You're alone, not just, physically in the woods, but you're lost inside a question that has no easy answer. It's not just simple curiosity. It's that feeling of being fundamentally stuck, where the problem itself feels like it's towering over you, blocking out all the light. So this first phase of our journey is all about recognizing that feeling. It's about looking an internal crisis square in the face. It's that moment you finally admit to yourself that the old maps you've been using, well, they just don't work anymore. You don't even know which way is up. And the thing is, this is a universal feeling, right? It's not some abstract philosophical concept. It's that gut punch of being emotionally and mentally adrift. Almost every big journey of self-discovery kicks off right here, with the simple, honest admission that you are totally, completely lost. So what happens when you stay lost for too long? Well, things start to fall apart. This next part of our journey looks at the consequences of that confusion, where the very structures you count on, your beliefs, your morals, your whole sense of self, they just start to crumble. Wow, what a powerful metaphor. It's not just about feeling down or confused anymore. This is the feeling that the entire ship that carries you through life, your sanity, your ethics, it isn't just taking on water, it's actively sinking. The timbers are rotten. The whole thing is failing. It's a total system collapse. And let's be super clear, this is not just a bad mood. This is the decay of the very tools you use to make sense of reality. Imagine trying to build a house, but your level is shattered and your ruler has no markings on it. That's the kind of collapse we're talking about here. You've got nothing to build with. So, what's left after the ship goes down? Just shadows, ghosts, fragments of who you used to be, echoes of old beliefs. All that's left is this internal museum of everything you've lost. It's an incredibly lonely and broken place to be. But here's the thing. It's from this absolute lowest point that the real journey can finally begin. This is the turning point. After everything falls apart, the search begins, not for a new ship, but for a totally new way to navigate the ocean, a new way to see. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? When everything you knew has fallen to pieces and you're just sitting there in the wreckage, how do you even start to rebuild? This is that critical moment where we pivot away from despair and toward the possibility of something new. And here's the proposed solution. We need a perfect frame. Now, the key insight here is that the frame isn't the picture itself. It's the thing that gives the picture structure and context. It's kind of like putting on a new pair of glasses. The world doesn't change, but suddenly you can see it clearly. And it says this frame is capable of relation, which means it allows you to start connecting the dots again. Okay, so what does this new frame show us? Well, this is where our journey takes a really interesting turn, away from just raw emotion and into something more structured. This frame lets us see a hidden logic, an underlying pattern to everything that was totally invisible before. I just love this phrase. It doesn't mean cold, hard equations. It's mystic mathematics. It suggests that underneath all the chaos of life, there's an order that's not only logical, but beautiful. It's elegant, almost spiritual. It's this idea that the universe is speaking a language of patterns, and we just need to learn how to hear it. And this builds right on top of that. This idea of existence in numbers suggests that maybe reality itself has this logical, predictable structure. Now, the point isn't that life is some giant math problem we have to solve. It's that what feels like a random, chaotic storm might actually be part of a bigger, coherent system, if we just have the right frame to see it. So this really lays out the whole transformation. On the left, you've got the old way of seeing things, that formless, chaotic storm. And on the right, with our new frame, we see the world as a system of patterns you can actually discover. We're moving from being completely lost to finding real coherence. It's a huge, huge shift in perception. All right, this brings us to the final, and I think most powerful part of this whole journey. Because, you see, it's not enough to just notice the patterns out there in the world. The real goal is to bring that order inside of you, to build an internal source of strength and meaning from it. And this is the absolute key. We become the architects of our own inner world. We take those patterns we see outside and we actively weave them into the fabric of who we are. This isn't passive, it's active construction. We're literally building our own reality from the inside out. So let's just break that down one more time. This is the entire roadmap we've just walked. First, you start in the wreckage and you look for patterns. Second, you adopt that perfect frame so you can actually understand them. Third, and this is the magic step, you internalize them. You weave them into your own personal web of meaning. And finally, that web, that becomes your new core, your new foundation. And this is the results. This is where the journey ends up. From the wreckage of that sinking ship, we've built something new inside ourselves. And it's not some rigid, brittle thing. It's a spine, a structure that's described as living, glowing, a beam. It's a strength that is both solid and radiant, an inner coherence that literally shines from within. And just like that, we've come full circle. We started lost in a dark forest, crushed by a philosophical question, but by finding a new frame, seeing the world's patterns, and weaving them into ourselves, we didn't just find an answer to the question, we became the answer. We became our own source of inner light. So what's the big takeaway here? This whole journey, it isn't just a nice story. It's a model for how we can create meaning. It suggests that order isn't something you go out and find. It's something you build inside. Which leaves us all with one last, pretty big question. If we are all weavers of our own reality, what pattern are you weaving?